got it bumping.
Block 3, day 2. So this will be our first snatch day of the week. The specific warm-up, therefore, is going to have snatch positions behind it. The first move you're going to have to do in that specific warm-up is a snatch grip deadlift with a shrug. The reason I'm not calling this a pull is because I don't want it to have much momentum behind it at all. I don't want you flying up onto the toes, and I don't want the bar getting too far away from the body. I want it almost slow, like a deadlift, and then when the bar happens to get to your hip and your legs are straight, I just want you to shrug as high as your shoulders will let you, and then go back down. So try your best not to put too much speed or momentum behind the deadlift plus shrug. Let them be slow. Let your body kind of connect to the muscle groups that it needs. Right after that, you're going to go into a muscle snatch starting from the shins. So you'll have to do the deadlift positions again. This time when you get to the hip, allow yourself to be a little bit more dynamic. As the bar comes off your hips, elbows come up and out to the sides so that you can put the bar overhead for your muscle snatch. After coming back down from the muscle snatch, we're going to try to go into a dynamic high hang snatch. This one might be tricky at bar and might actually require some of you to do your first round or two at a PVC stick or a broomstick, which is totally okay. But we're essentially trying to minimize the time you have to think between bar hitting hips and then the dip drive for the next high hang snatch. We're trying to make it as dynamic and fluid as possible. This is going to just force you to develop a little bit more muscle memory and confidence at the hip portion of the snatch, which should be the quickest part of the lift. By the time you get to the hip, the bar's moving overhead after that, and there's not much time to think and get your head right. So we want to try to, in this block at least, through this specific warm-up, develop a little bit of trust at the hip and just learn to dip, drive, get under, dip, drive, get under. And if it's wrong, we'll talk about why in the WhatsApp group. The main lift for this day is going to be a high hang snatch. We're going to use high hang snatches for the first little bit, just because it's a perfect segue from where we were in our last block. Last block, we put so much attention to detail in the first pull. I drilled you guys about getting the knees back off the floor and pulling the bar into you as you started the pull for the snatch. I want to give that a little bit of a break, let that marinate in your minds, and kind of just assume that everyone in the group has at least progressed that skill a little bit, and start at the opposite end of the snatch, which would be the hip. We'll drill the high hang snatches for at least 3 weeks. Then on week 4, we'll drop the high hang snatches to a block, and this day we'll transition from high hang snatches to block snatches, which will allow us to push the percentages into the higher ranges, because you won't get much higher than 75% for a high hang and have it feel very strong or stable. The accessory work for this day is going to tie into the name of the block, silverback. It's all about upper back and mid back development. So you have 5 behind the neck medium grip strict presses. So you could totally use the jerk grip that you had on day 1 for the jerks, but pressing from that position with a little bit more weight on the bar might be tough on some of your shoulders. So edging the hands out a tiny bit to more of a medium grip between snatch and clean, totally okay here. I actually rather you do it that way to avoid busting up your shoulders. After that, you got 6 to 8 barbell rows at the same barbell, so the exact same weight. And we're going to take those rows from essentially mid-shin, so you will be quite bent over, rowing towards your sternum, and really pinching the shoulder blades together as you try to hit your sternum with the bar. Then you're going to finish with 15 scap push-ups from a straight elbow plank. Right after the 15th scap push-up, try not to rest, go right into 10 shoulder taps. And the theory there is pretty simple. We're just getting the serratus to get used to protracting the shoulder blade forward while it's depressed, so try your best not to shrug while you're doing the scap push-ups. Keep the elbows straight, shoulders down, and let that serratus do its job. And then right after the 15th, stay in that protracted position and try to get your shoulder taps in while keeping the midline stiff enough to not rotate and fall over. In the shoulder taps, if you find no matter how hard you try, you're rocking back and forth more than you want to, try taking more of a tripod stance, so just opening up your legs a little bit, and that should make it a little bit easier to maintain balance while hitting the shoulder taps.